And our final story, across the border from Nigeria. In Niger, a different kind of confrontation is brewing up. It's about the country's vast reserves of uranium and who gets to control it. Niger's junta have announced that they are putting their uranium from the Sumair mine on the open market. Sumair, once majority controlled by French nuclear giant Orano, was nationalized by the junta in June, stripping Orano of any control. Orano says uranium has already been removed from the Sumair site without its consent. It's calling the move illegal and a breach of an international ruling issued in September. The ruling barred Niger from selling or facilitating the transfer of any uranium produced by Sumair. The company also warns of further action, including criminal proceedings if this material is diverted or sold in violation of its rights. At the centre of all this is a deepening conflict between France and Niger over who controls this resource. Orano says nearly 1,500 tons of uranium are still sitting inside its Sumair site. But Niger says Orano extracted far more than its share over the years, more than what was agreed upon, and now they want their resources for themselves. The junta is already courting new uranium buyers: Russia, Iran, and Turkey. And that set off alarms in Europe, because a quarter of their uranium resources come from Niger. Niger's fallout with France has been building for months. Recently, Paris accused the junta of preparing to sell 1,000 tons of uranium to Russia, a deal worth roughly $170 million. France fears nuclear shipments could easily be intercepted across Sahel, where several insurgent groups operate. They also say such a sale could fuel Moscow's war efforts by arming their nuclear supply chain. And Russia has been waiting for an opening just like this. Moscow has already expanded their nuclear cooperation deals with Mali and Burkina Faso. And last month it signed one with Niger, covering reactors, fuel supply and power plants. Niger's shift is part of a broader realignment inside the alliance of Sahel states. Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger have all adopted aggressive policies. They're asserting state ownership of gold, uranium, oil and rare minerals. All three countries have also signed defence deals with Russia as they drift away from pro-West sentiment. For decades, Niger exported uranium but relied on coal and electricity imported from Nigeria to power its own grid. When Nigeria cut exports this year, Niger's grid collapsed by up to 50%. The country is one of the world's biggest producers of uranium, so Niamey's logic is simple. If you are sitting on one of the richest uranium belts in the world, why stay dependent on others for electricity? For now, it's yet to be seen if Russia capitalizes on the opportunity. But the reality on the ground across Sahel is simple. Anti-West sentiment is growing and Russia is stepping in, ready to fill the vacuum.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.